is Jalen Duren and Evan Mobley skill set similar to you, or are they completely different bigs?
I think in theory they're completely different bigs, just because Jalen Duren, Evan Mobley seems like more of a finesse, like a stretch forward, damn near more than instead of the five. Jalen Duren is more like he's starting to do some things that's non-traditional at the five, but he's more of a traditional five than Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley is more like a forward, power forward.
That's what
I did not. If you would have told me today, like if you would have said this years ago when Evan Mobley was being drafted or when Jalen Duren was being drafted, if you would have told me that in November of 2025, Jalen Duren was going to be better than Evan Mobley, I would have cussed you out. I would have cussed you out. Honestly, I would have told you don't know shit about what you talk about. Get out of my face. Oh my God!
It's a real conversation.
Crazy how time changes.
It's a real conversation, like for real conversation that we can have.
You remember there was a point where I was like, by the time Evan Mobley's done, he's going to be in that top 10 power forward conversation. I was thinking Evan Mobley was going to be like one of them, and I still think he's a really good basketball player. Don't get me wrong, but if you would have told me that Jalen Duren was going to be the guy over Evan Mobley, I wouldn't even have finished the conversation with you.
He didn't look like it last night. I'll tell you that.
That's a part of the game that happens.
It's just funny how much better these players can get. Like, for real. And I'm not even trying to be sarcastic or anything like that. Like, it's seriously amazing when these dudes get in the gym, or sometimes just playing a course of 82 games and getting your ass kicked, chill. Having to go city to city playing against guys that are better than you, or sometimes when you have a coach step in and show you a couple things and the light bulb will turn on and you'll just get better at basketball. And even with Evan Mobley, he might just be having a little slump right now. He might be going through some things. You know that happens sometimes. Sometimes you take a step back to take a few steps forward. So like Evan Mobley still could be one of the all-time greats. It's just as of right now, Jalen Duren has taken 3 big steps forward, and dude is just a monster. And it also helps when you have a guy like Cade Cunningham next to you too, just setting the table. And I'm not saying that Evan Mobley does it, but I don't think Evan Mobley helps his point guards as much as he could. Him and Darius Garland they really like gel together. So Darius Garland hasn't been there, so that could be a reason as well. But I don't think he puts himself in the position as much as like guys like Jalen Duren to really be successful.
Ron, do you think that's because the style of Jalen Duren? Like Jalen Duren is more of a in the trenches type of dude. You know, Evan Mobley is not really that. I really look at Evan Mobley more as a power forward than a center. But I think Jalen Duren is just in the trenches. Like, it's rare that you're going to get a pick and pop from Jalen Duren. You know what I mean? Like, it's common you're going to get a pick and pop from Evan Mobley more times than not. So, you know, Jalen Duren can roll to the basket. He can finish in traffic. He can withstand all of that, what you would call it, all of that contact in that area, all that traffic in the area. Like, he can withstand that. So I think that's probably why we saying what we're saying about Mobley and Duren. But I mean, give it some time. I still think like I said, the playoffs always expose what really happens. You know, like what's really going on. So give Mobley some time. But
Drench, if you got 82 games in the regular season, and let's say you're a first or second round exit, I can't agree with that. Like
it ain't about exit. I'm talking about just how they played, how they performed.
Right. But that's my thing. If I see you play, let's say you play 76 of the 82 games, and of those 76 of the 82 game season, you either play great or you play not so great. And then in the playoffs, let's say you get 7 to 10 games off, and you play the opposite of what you did in the regular season. I can't go off that. Like, even no matter how it goes, even if you average 11-5 in the regular season, and then you go crazy in the playoffs for 6 games, I'm not going to just assume, he's like that because of those 6, you know.
I think you should. I think you should, because at the end of the day, if it comes down to a playoff setting and I'm able to get some shit off, you can't really look at me. You might need to be looking at the coaching staff and the team. Like, what the fuck have y'all been doing all year?
But
like,
that's against one. That's, you know, it's a game of matchups, right? So if in 82 games you played everybody in the league and you didn't look that great, but then you just so happen to get a lucky draw, and maybe you're playing against Memphis. No knock to Memphis, but let's say Jaren Jackson let's say Jaren Jackson ain't on the glass, and then you're going crazy. You're averaging 15, 14 rebounds. I'm not gonna just assume now, like, oh man, his coach didn't know what he was doing. He's the guy, or you know what I'm saying, something like that.
Yeah, context too, though.
You know?
context too, though, Ox. Like, obviously, if a player is going dumb in a regular season, going dumb in the playoffs, and he upped it a lot from his regular season, he probably wasn't getting the rotational minutes that he thought he should get. He wasn't getting put in those positions that he thought he should. That matters. Usually, what happens in the playoffs, you become more strategic a lot of times. Like, coaches just become way more strategic. So if we slow the game down and Evan Mobley, you going to Evan Mobley 4 times in a row away from Donovan Mitchell a little bit more than not, and he killing and cooking, you gonna probably see his numbers go up. You know what I mean? And then if they go to Jalen Duren 4 or 5 times in a row away from Cade, and it looks bad, then it's like, okay, some of that shit you did in the regular season just not translate yet. Not saying that Jalen Duren's a bad player, just right now it's not translating. So,
Ox, what's the as of right now? Because like you just brought up the Evan Mobley, Jalen Duren conversation. Right now, what's the separator between Jalen Duren and Evan Mobley?
It's physicality.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I think it is, to be honest with you.
I agree too.
It's physicality, chill, and that's not. I don't think Evan Mobley is soft. I remember we had this conversation a while ago about the Cavs and the Knicks, and I don't think Evan Mobley is soft at all. I just don't think he's a physical. You can look at these two dudes and see what you're about to get.
There's a difference between the two of them.
Like Jalen Duren, he wants to hit somebody. Like, and I don't mean in a malicious way. I don't mean like he's trying to hurt anybody or he's trying to.
He bringing the fight to you. He's bringing the fight to you.
You going at the end of that night, that morning, you're gonna be in an ice bath. You're gonna if you're on the road in Detroit, you're gonna be, I don't know what hotels downtown Detroit, but whatever, you're gonna be in one of those nice hotels. You're gonna be laid out. Like, God damn. What did I just have? You know what I'm saying? And depending on what type of person you are, you might be like, yeah, I like that. Like that was the type of fight I was looking for. Or you might be like, bro, I can't wait to get home, and I hope I never got to come to Detroit again. Jalen Duren is going to make you make a decision that night. Like, am I about this or am I not?
The difference is that Duren can be a lone big, and I don't think that Evan Mobley can. I don't think that Evan Mobley really does well when he's asked to play without Jared Allen. The numbers would back that up in 390 minutes. Without Allen, they are a pretty mediocre team, plus 0.5 net rating. Allen without Mobley is plus 14.8. So Allen does much better.
Without him. What is Mobley individually?
Mobley without Allen is plus 0.5. Their defense is not as good. Their offense is not as good. But when they play together, in the 177 minutes they managed to play together, they are plus 16.4. So together they are good. Man. But
I really like those dudes.
Yes, and I agree, but I think a lot of people are down on Jared Allen because he just got a pretty expensive extension and he doesn't shoot a lot of, he doesn't shoot a lot. He's not the most skilled guy, and sometimes they have to sit him in fourth quarters. But overall, I don't think Evan Mobley can be a center. I have always felt this way.
Yeah, I think he's a power forward.
Mars loves him at the 5. Mars doesn't like him at the 5. Mars loves him at the 5.
Why you like him at the 5 instead of the 4?
I was trying to see. I was trying to see why Mars loves him at the 5 so much, because I don't like him at the 5. I like him at the 4.
But I think like,
you guys actually asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Why do you like him at the 5, Morris?
I was talking about the Cavs roster construction, and I think the odd man out was going to be Jarrett Allen or one of the guards. And I think Evan Mobley at the 5 opens up offensive opportunities for more people than Jarrett Allen at the 5. I think just his ability to shoot, play in the short roll, play in the dunker spot. And I think Evan Mobley offensively is unlocked when Jarrett Allen isn't on the court. I think his rim percentages are way higher because he doesn't have another big down there. Talking about the physicality stuff, when the spacing is clogged, you're going to struggle to have Evan Mobley maximized offensively because he's not going to finish through the way a guy like Jalen Duren can. So if you clear that lane out, you have Evan Mobley who's able to roll into open space and not have to deal with congested lanes. That also opens up lanes for Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, 2 of the more high-level drivers in the NBA. And I thought Evan Mobley was one of the most versatile switchable defenders in the NBA. So you add that into everything. I liked it, but the issue is the Cavs can't rebound.